Okay, I'm being nice and I took my face off the screen. What we're going to do now is finish up chapter 4 of Their Eyes Are Watching God. We have a few more questions to answer. We just finished up with Joe Starks making his move on Janie. So now we're going to see how Logan Killich responds.
Debated the matter that night in bed. Logan, you sleep? If I was, you'd be done woke me up calling me. I was thinking real hard about us, about you and me. It's about time. You was powerful independent round here sometime, considering. Considering what, for instance? Considering you was born in a carriage out no top to it, and your mama and you been born and raised in the white folks' backyard. You didn't say all that when you was begging Nanny for me to marry you. I thought you would appreciate good treatment. Thought I'd take and make something out of you. You think you was white folks by the way you act. Supposing I was to run off and leave you sometime. There. Janie had put words in his held-in fears. She might run off sure enough. The thought put a terrible ache in Logan's body, but he thought it best to put on scorn. Oh, I'm getting sleepy, Janie. Don't talk no more. There ain't too many men's would trust you knowing your folks like they do. Well, I might take and find somebody that did trust me and leave you. Shucks. There ain't no more fools like me. A whole lot of men will grin in your face, but they ain't going to work and feed you. You won't get far and you won't be long. When that big gut reach over and grab that little one, you'll be too glad to come back here. You don't take nothing to account but sour belly and cornbread. I'm sleepy. I don't ain't worry my gut into a fiddle string with no disposing. He flopped over, resentful in his agony, and pretended sleep. He hoped that he had hurt her as she had hurt him. Jenny got up with him the next morning and had the breakfast halfway done when he bellowed from the barn. Jenny! Logan called harshly. Come help me move this manure pile before the sun gets hot. You don't take a bit of interest in this place. Ain't no use in fooling around in that kitchen all day long. Janie walked to the door with a pan in her hand, still stirring the cornmeal dough, and looked towards the barn. The sun from ambush was threatening the world with red daggers, but the shadows were gray and solid-looking around the barn. Logan, with his shovel, looked like a black bear doing some clumsy dance on his hind legs. You don't need my help out there, Logan. You's in your place and I'm in mine. You ain't got no particular place. It's wherever I need you. Get a move on you that quick. My mama didn't tell me I was born in no hurry. So what business I got rushing now? Anyhow, that ain't what you's mad about. You's mad because I don't fall down and wash up these 60 acres of ground you got. You ain't done me no favor by marrying me, and if that's what you call yourself doing, I don't thank you for it. You's mad because I'm telling you what you already knowed. Logan dropped his shovel and made 2 or 3 clumsy steps toward the house, then stopped abruptly. Don't you change many words with me this morning, Janie. Do I take and change ends with you? Here I just as good as take you out of the white folks' kitchen and set you down on your raw diastigas, and you take and low-rate me. I'll take hold of that axe and come in there and kill you. You better drop in there. I'm too honest and hard working for anybody in your family. That's the reason you don't want me. The last sentence was half a sob and half a cry. I guess some low-life nigga is grinning in your face and lying to you. God damn your hide. Janie turned from the door without answering and stood still in the middle of the floor without knowing it. She turned wrong side out, just standing there and feeling. When the throbbing calmed a little, she gave Logan's speech a hard thought and placed it beside other things she had seen and heard. When she had finished with that, she dumped the dough on the skillet and smoothed it over with her hand. She wasn't even angry. Logan was accusing her of her mama, her grandmama, and her feelings, and she couldn't do a thing about any of it. The sow belly in the pan needed turning. She flipped it over and shoved it back. A little cold water in the coffee pot to settle it. Turned the whole cake with a plate, and then made a little laugh. What was she losing so much time for? A feeling of sudden newness and change came over her. Janie hurried out of the front gate and turned south. Even if Joe was not there waiting for her, the change was bound to do her good. The morning road air was like a new dress that made her feel the apron tied around her waist. She untied it and flung it on a low bush beside the road and walked on, picking flowers and making a bouquet. After that, she came to where Joe Starks was waiting for her with a hired rig. He was very solemn and helped her to the seat beside him. With him on it, it sat like some high ruling chair. From now on until death, she was going to have flower dust and springtime sprinkled over everything. A bee for her bloom. Her old thoughts were going to come in handy now, but new words would have to be made and said to fit them. Green Cove Springs, he told the driver. So they were married there before sundown, just like Joe had said, with new clothes of silk and wool. They sat on the boarding house porch and saw the sun plunge into the same crack in the earth from which the night emerged. On the train the next day.
So that's the end of chapter 4. We have 3 questions to answer. Logan Killick did all the following except one answer. Did Logan tell Janie he was too honest and hardworking for anybody in her family? That's yes or no. And last question, why did Janie choose to leave Logan? Answer those 3 questions and then submit. So that's the end of chapter 4 of Their Eyes Are Watching God. Thank you for listening.